Hello, children. How are you? I hope you all are fine. So, today I have brought the first poem for you, My Mother 66 of class 12th. It's a very easy poem if you go according to the, line to line explanation. But at the same time, when the questions comes, it is quite in-depth questions. It comes in the exams. So, for you, I have brought I have brought the matter in a very, systematic way so that you can really understand the poem without any confusion as such. So, let's start with the poem. I won't take much time of yours in just explanation. So, let's start with the poem, My Mother 66 by Kamala Das. Now, if you start with the poem, we see that it's a very poignant poem, heart-touching poem, where there's a loss of, due to aging, there is a pain of separation which the children generally they observe when their parents grow old. So obviously she's a very sensitive writer, and she has been talking about the subtle human relationship in a very lyrical way. Now, if you go with the poem, you can see that the poem is in a single sentence, and like it doesn't have any. After every line, you will not see the full stops. We have the punctuations, but no full stops. So such type of poem are being called single sentence, as from beginning to the end, you will find only one line of thought, and that is pain of separation. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. So maybe the poet might have come to meet her mother, and now she's going back to her work or maybe some other commitment. So she was going back to and her mother was sitting next to her, beside is next to her. Doors open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So she was dozing. And then because generally what happens that we due to lot of commitment, we hardly find time to sit with our parents or talk to them. So maybe after a long time, she was sitting with her mother next to her, and then she observed that, oh my God, my mother has been looking like a dead body, ashen like that of a corpse. Corpse here means dead body, and realized with pain, and suddenly that pain evoked her. Like pain, really, obviously, the pain of losing her mother that started, it started really evoking her, that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. And so she was looking, she was looking older than her age, you can say, or she never expected that my mother will become so old. So she wanted to divert her mind, put that thought away. So she wanted to divert her mind. Generally, it happens when we are too anxious about something, or we want to, when we are not really in a mood to confront the harsh realities of life. Then at that time, we try to divert our mind. So she started looking outside the window. Who? The poet. And put that thought away. So she wanted to divert her mind and looked out at young trees printing the merry children's spinnings. As they were in car, so she started looking outside the window. Outside the window, what she saw that the young trees are going in the backward direction, and uh, happily the children are coming out of their house. Now, can you please tell me, does the intensity of her pain increased or decreased? Because in the car, she is observing, uh, you can say, pain of separation, or a mother who is growing old. And outside the car, she can see young trees. Young trees, they are the symbolism of, like vitality, then liveliness. And married children, again, the you can say life or vitality or vigor. So does her pain of intensity increase or decreased? Of course, the pain of intensity will increase because now the comparison comes. And when she compares, she feels, yes, my mother has really become very old. Trees sprinting, the merry children spinning. So when you sit in the car, the things outside the car, it always goes in the backward direction. So here, so that means the time passes soon. She might have met her mother maybe a few years back, and at that time, her mother might be very young. I'm very young in the sense that not as old as she is seeing now. And so obviously this is a contrast image. So she felt, it was like she really felt anxious for her mother. So after now they have reached to the airport, and after the airport security check, again when she looked back at her mother, she saw that her mother has really become wear and pale. So like in the first stanza, she has compared her mother with a dead body because dull, pale due to aging. Now this time she has compared her mother with a late winter moon. Why with the late winter moon? Generally, what happens that during the extreme winter, when we see moon, it lacks strength, warmness, and brightness due to foggy weather. In the same way, due to extreme old age, mother also lacks strength, brightness, and the, you can say, like warmness. She also lacks that because now she has grown so old, and that is the reason poet compares her mother with a late winter's moon and felt that old familiar ache my childhood fear. Old familiar ache, the pain that she felt in the car. When she was in the car with her mother, she had that pain, pain of separation which she felt. My childhood fear. Obviously, Kamala Das had many fear in her mind, and one of the fear of that she may lose her mother. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. So basically, she did not say it, let me see when I'm going to meet you again, Mama. Let me see. But then she wanted to give a hope of assurance to her mother that don't worry, we'll come back. I'll come back again and I'll meet you. All I did was smile and smile and smile. These are the parting words. So she kept on smiling when she was talking to her mother. So it's a reality of life. When you smile for a longer time, it is not a real smile, but basically it's a fake smile. So it is just like a smile of confusion, smile of dilemma, or smile of conflict. She doesn't want to make her mother realize that due to aging, she may not be able to meet her daughter when she will be coming back again too. So exact, if you go through the poem, this entire poem is based on growing old. Okay, growing old, when the person becomes really when they grow old, they approach towards, it feels as if they are approaching towards death. Right. So generally when we see our parents growing old, we also feel the same way, right? And that's what exactly. If you talk about the theme of the poem, it is just like that. Aging is a natural process, and obviously, some or the other, everybody has to face such. Like, and we in a such a busy schedule, we are unable to look after our parents. We are unable to fulfill their desires because that is a time when they need us, but we are unable to because of lots of commitment. So if you see that the poet has very beautifully has used some poetic devices. First one is simile. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. So whenever you are comparing two objects, like face ashen like that of a corpse, so when you are comparing two ideas or two things with the word called like or as, that is called simile. Wane pale as late winter moon. Again, we have used the word as. So again, here is similar where the poet's mother's face has been compared with the late winter moon. And poet has also used repetition. Why do we use repetition? It is basically, you can say that why sometimes the word are being repeated again and again. It may be because the poet wants to create an musical effect, or maybe the poet wants to emphasize on a point, or maybe the poet wants to draw the reader attentions. So that is the reason. And here smile indicates, that means, as I told you, that when we smile for a longer time, it means like you are trying to hide your anxiety and guilt. Okay. And of course, the poet has also used images and symbols. So, young trees sprinting and merry children spelling. It is symbolism of youth, vigor, vitality. And winter, it is a symbolism of death. So, whenever we talk about winter, obviously, it is a symbolism. It refers to death, because various season, the different season, it has a different, it how it affects our life. Like if you talk about spring, it is a symbolism of joy and happiness. If you talk about mm, like summer, it talks about the suffering and struggling. Okay, I hope you might have understood the poem. And still, if you have any doubt, you can really uh, like uh, put the questions on the comment box, and I'll get back to you. Uh, let's discuss the question answers. What is the kind of pain an ache that poet feels? Pain, basically, it's a, pain of separation, or it is also can be, you can say, that losing her mother. Why are the young trees described as sprinting? So obviously, when we sit in the car, the things outside the window always goes in the backward direction. So it means that the time passes soon. Why is the poet brought in the image of merry children spilling out of their homes? Because there's a contrast image. Now, poet wanted to divert her thought. And what the thought she has in her mind? Thought of pain of separation, pain of losing her mother. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter? As we discussed this question earlier also, that due to extreme winter, the moon always lacks strength, warmness, and brightness. And in the same way, mother also due to extreme old age lacks strength, brightness, and warmness. What do the parting words of the poet and her smile signify? Parting words basically Siu Sunama, and this is exactly she wanted to give hope of assurance to her mother, and her smile signified that when you smile for a longer time, it means it's a fake smile, and you're trying to hide your anxiety and pain behind the mask of smile. So it's a very, this poem is really very, you can say, practical, and this is what happens when we see our parents growing old, and then it comes in our mind that we never know that when they will leave us. Yes, thank you so much, children. I hope you must have understood the poem. Still, if you have any doubt, you can put the questions in the comment box, and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much.